Dude,
Hello.
I have got to tell you about this Hermione fic that I just finished. Hermione is a YN situation.
Shouldn't he be in a max security prison?
There's a skinny, tall man in the corner.
And I owe him money.
He's not doing it in like a freak nasty way. Well, it is, but like he's like kind of a freak. Like he's a freak. Oh, forgot. She's also wearing like a collar.
They had to like sign a contract with him that was
Yeah.
like, if you fuck up, I kill you. You know, as all contracts go. They do, in fact, get it on, and they do, in fact, fall in love. No touchy. Very prison village. Like tattoos, like their vows on her. But like that was on purpose. Which
Literally, what is this universe?
cut. Jump 3 years.
She has created a web unlike no other.
It's like, of course it's fucking mask night. Oh, who do we think it is?
Nun ball gag tattoo, that's all you need to know.
I actually am not surprised by that.
I'm surprised by that.
We were not doing anything in January.
I'm sick. I'm like, where's the sport?
I good to know I'm keeping up with the teens.
She writes a really good blonde man.
Rachel told me to read this list and I liked it.
It's very Gotham City. Maybe he's in Jersey. This one had me gagged. I mean, they all all the ones that I read do for some reason. And I was talking about it with my brother, and I was like, I don't know why recently I've only been reading Hermione fanfiction. Like in the like since I've been home, I have a spreadsheet. I finished one that I'd been reading. I've read 3 Hermione fanfics since I've been home. This month, yes.
Slay?
Not even this whole, well, yeah, like this month. Which is just sick and twisted. But I think I read it because, like, I get in moods where I really just only want to read that because I'm so comfortable with them. Like, I know them personally. Yeah. You know, we're on a first name basis. Like, they're my friends.
Yeah, and they are.
Well, Hermione is a YN situation to me. As she is to maybe other people. I don't know. But anyway, so I pick up this Hermione fanfiction because one of the tags is psychosimp and weaponized competence.
I only know what one of those things mean.
So weaponized competence is like he gets shit done, but like did you really have to do that? Like did you have to go out of your way to like murder 4 people? Like he's getting shit done. He is like on a roll. Like he's ahead of schedule, but like
I see.
Oh, an entire town is dead, you know?
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. So I pick up this fic. It's called A Good Prisoner by Green Flower Pot.
That's like their handle?
Yes. And so let me give you a little backstory. So it's set in like, the war is still happening, but the Order is losing. And if you don't know what the Order is, that's the good guys.
I can't explain that to you.
Yeah, if you don't know, come on. That's the good guys. That's the people who are fighting for Hogwarts, like Harry and, you know, all of his friends. But in this scenario, Voldemort is dead, but the Death Eaters are winning. So kind of slay. And all of the Order members have moved into these safe houses where they like live and work. And Hermione lives in one of these safe houses and works as a healer. So
yeah, that seems really up her alley.
Exactly. So we open the book with Draco being captured in the safe house. Like he's a prisoner in the safe house that Hermione lives and works at. And so there's like guard shifts of like the people who like live there have to take guard and like sit in like the cell area like with the prisoners. And Hermione really likes when it's her turn to be a guard because Draco's entertaining and he's smart and he's funny and he has good banter. And yeah, okay, fine. He's like a really bad guy because he is like top of the top Death Eater. He's not the top one. I think he's like third.
I can't believe they're just keeping him in this like little house. Like, shouldn't he be in a max security prison?
Right, that's the thing. Like he should be in somewhere like Azkaban, right?
Yeah, they're like taking that way too. Like, we'll just keep him in this house.
Yeah, we'll just keep him in the back rooms. Spoiler alert, he escapes
Honey,
the back
I could
rooms.
kick down that door with my bare feet.
Yeah. So he obviously, him and Hermione kind of have this like rapport of like, I'll heal you, you don't hurt me. We're not friends at like in the slightest, but we're like polite to each other.
We have an understanding, if you will.
Right. And she's like, oh, he's kind of cute. Whatever. But she's like, I can't, I literally, she's also, okay, Hermione in this is like actually emaciated. And I don't know if that's a PC term, but like, obviously a war is going on. She's like struggling mentally. Like, she has like PTSD. She's like so skinny because she's not taking care of herself because she thinks in Hermione fashion, she's like, I have to do everything I can to like heal people and like research, you know, new like methods and stuff. And she's just not taking care of herself.
No time
And
to eat when you're booked and busy.
right. And Draco notices that. And Draco is he's a control freak. And he's a caring person. It's just, it comes out in the wrong way. It comes out in I'm going to kidnap you and keep you as my pet. And like feed
Maybe
you
I
3
want to
meals
be
a day.
kept.
And bitch, I was like, he dresses her, he tells her exactly what to wear. He feeds her 3 meals a day. He buys her any book that she wants.
Girl. And I'm sick and tired of cooking and cleaning.
I'm sick and tired of pretending that I don't want that.
Yeah. Come on, people.
So he escapes the prison, and then everyone's like shocked that this like high level, highly intelligent Death Eater escaped the back rooms of this like shack. Everyone's like shocked. And she's like, guys, he is like a more powerful wizard than like all of you. So he escapes and she's like, oh, I'm just never going to see him again. Like, I don't have any entertainment. Oh.
She's like,
oh.
Melanie.
Melanie. Oh. She was really nice. So, but then she's at her like little like they don't have she's like sitting somewhere doing some research, whatever. And she's like overtired at this point. Like, I've been researching and like doing, you know, practice. She also practices the like healing spells on herself, which is really dangerous. So she's like sitting there doing this and she's like, I'm definitely seeing things because there's a skinny, tall man in the corner.
And I owe him money.
And she's like, do I owe him money or what's going on? And he's like, did you miss me, sweetheart? And then he kidnaps her.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot. And so she's like
Into
freaking out. Into it. And she's like, so now she's like given her own like wing of his house. Literally sign me up, bitch.
Do we have a program for this?
Yeah, where do I sign up? He like gives her baths. He's like, you have to bathe. Because like, so he bathes her in, it's called Dittany. It's like a healing oil, basically, in the Harry Potter world. So he makes her like take baths like 3 times a day, and he's there to supervise. Because he's like kind of weird. And he's not doing it in like a freak nasty way. It is, but like he's doing it in like you need like adult supervision, basically. Like how you like watch a kid in the bath.
Yeah.
But she's like a grown woman.
Yeah, obviously. That's why I don't take baths. I'm not allowed to.
Yeah, I can't do it unless Draco Malfoy's there, so.
Oh my gosh. Oh, bath or shower. Oh, you're allowed to take baths?
Oh, I'm not allowed to do that. So she's like freaking out. She's like, I have to figure out like a way to escape. But every time she tries to escape, obviously he's smarter than that. And he catches her. And he's like, he's so nice to her. Like, he never like scolds her or anything. Like, he is just, uh, he's giving the line in Love Theoretically of like, Elsie's like, why do you care about me? Like, why do you want to care for me? And Jack is like, because I feel like no one has before. And he's always like, I will take care of you like no one else will. Like, if you let me, I will take care of you. And I think he's nice. So she's trying to figure out a way to escape. It's not working. And she's feeling really bad because she's like, I am like living in this Death Eater's house and I'm not doing anything to help the order. But also, why is it kind of nice to like not have like work to do, not have stress, eat 3 meals a day, sit and read for enjoyment and not research? And she's like, I feel bad. Like, I shouldn't be feeling like this. So she kind of strikes up this bargain. She's like making these favors to Draco. And she's
Oh,
like,
okay.
so there's one scene where there is like a supply run to the order, but it's blocked. Like, the like medical supplies are being blocked from being sent to the safe houses. And she's like, please, 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 like, I'll be good. Like, can you please unblock the like supply chain so like the healers and stuff in the safe houses can get the shit they need? And he was like, why would I do that? I'm blocking them. Like, I don't want them to get their supplies. And she's like, please, like, I'll be good. I'll be good. And he's like, okay, sleep in my bed tonight.
Okay.
And she's like, okay, yeah. So she kind of starts doing these like favors for him and nothing creepy happens. He literally, like, he's just so fucked up. He's like, I just want to hold you. And I'm like, oh, God, I see what you do for others. He's like kind of a freak. Like, he's a freak. I don't know. So she kind of starts making these deals. And then like next time she tries to make one, he's like, okay, this little deal thing that you're doing for me like is not working. He's like, people are going to start catching on that the things that are supposed to happen on the evil people side aren't happening. So they do. He takes the unbreakable vow, which in Harry Potter, if you don't know what that is, it's like, it's the vow that Narcissa and Snape take, because Narcissa's like, Snape, you have to protect my son. Like, bad things are going to happen. You need to protect my son. And if you don't protect my son and my son dies, you also die. So it's like a very serious promise. And you'll die if you break it. So he takes the vow of like, you stay here for a year. I'll help the order. You have to be a good girl, basically, is what it is. Oh, forgot. She's also wearing like a collar. It's basically just like a chain, like a kind of choker chain with his signet ring on it. Hot. Like, hello? When is it my turn? To make a long story short, she's like, damn, this is kind of good. There's a good life. And I can't really explain it. Like, you kind of like, you do have to read it. But there's another scene where they're throwing this like party at the manor, and Hermione's like, I don't want to go. Like, that's a lot of people. Like, I haven't seen a lot of people in probably years. Because they keep her like locked in this safe house. And he's like, it's fine. We don't have to stay long. Like, I have to go to this part. I'm hosting the party. I'm like number 3 Death Eater. We gotta go. So
Hey, it's actually here.
Yeah, the party's actually downstairs. We gotta go. So he dresses her for the party, and he gives her essentially black Louboutins.
Yeah.
When is it my turn? And he was like, and she's like, oh, I like these. Like these are pretty. And he's like, good. I'll wear black shoes too. We can match. Matching Louboutins? Yeah, that's epic. I just thought it was so cute. Like he just wants a little pet. Maybe he should have gotten like a cat or a dog, but this'll do.
This'll do.
Um, but yeah, long story short, she's like, he's helping the order a little bit. He's doing what he can to not be suspicious, but it makes Hermione really happy because she's like, oh, he's helping my people. Not my people, but like he's helping my side. And he's just happy to do it because he just wants her to be happy. Um, yeah, so she ends up like really enjoying it. And she's like, I kind of like him. He's kind of nice and he kind of does like whatever I want. Um, and he's not bad to look at. So anyway, yeah, I just had to share because it was a wild ride. I don't know if it's actually done yet. I think it's still in progress because there were 21 chapters that I was able to download, but it on AO3, if it's not complete, it'll say like 21 out of, and then it'll be like how many chapters there are. But on AO3, it'll have a question mark on the other side. So I'm maybe assuming because it kind of ended like it would have been it actually like the way it ended like would have been really good. So there's also like a mystery going on of all the Death Eaters are trying to find this one wand and they're scanning like every wand of people who were there at the Battle of the Ministry and they can't seem to find this one wand. So we still don't know whose wand it is or if they've found it, but that's okay because the way it ends is like it's just really cute. Like I don't like it would have been a good ending, but I'll be so happy if this author decides to like keep writing
Yeah.
because it eats the house down boots. I don't know. Anyway, I would like to be kidnapped. That's all I have to say.
Oh my gosh. But actually, that kind of eats. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good plot.
Right?
Even if it wasn't like a Hermione, like
It would be a good like book, like I'd pick it up at the store. Anyway,
um,
how's your brothers?
not great. Um, so when we left off, we were where was I? I think I just finished the third
You'd
book.
finished the Tyson chicken tender book.
Yes. So after that is the novella in between, which is the like stepbrother, stepsister one. Um,
We love like why do we love that plot? Like
so yeah. Oh my god. We'll get back to that in a second. Um, speaking of stepbrother, stepsister, Mia Cupola, but the second one, Mia.
I think it's Mia Tula.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I don't know, but I'm hype bitch because they ended the first one on a banger.
Yeah, literally.
Literally, they fuck.
Dare I say? Um, anyways, really excited. I didn't realize it was like coming out.
I
Like
didn't
I didn't.
either.
I guess they're not promoting it in the US because it is in Spanish. Like they're promoting it in
Yeah.
Spain, and then I think they've cut promo off to the US because they're gonna do a London version of Mia Cupola. Like they're gonna make the English My Fault.
Oh, I think you sent me that video of like
And
the actress like talking about it.
which I just feel like isn't gonna be as good.
No, it has to be in Spanish.
Like there's something about them being. I think she said it was set in Spain, so there's something about it being like set in Spain and it being like, it just gives it that like, this isn't real factor.
Yeah, it's like how I read cowboy romance and I'm like, this is fantasy, they don't exist.
Anyways,
Blue collar people are not real.
Rachel.
No, they're very much real. They're very, very much real, and we appreciate them.
But
They're literally in my house, so
for my romance
books they don't exist.
No, so yeah, after I'm reading like the Lords series, Lord College Lords, whatever. So the fourth one is the novella, and it's actually Tyson has like henchmen, he's goons.
Oh,
And
we talked about this. Yes, the
yeah,
goons.
they're not lords. They're just random ass kids who go to the same expensive college.
Oh,
And it's like they're not lords, but like he basically was like they had to like sign a contract with him that
well,
was like
yeah.
if you fuck up I kill you. As all contracts go. So
Right.
like it's
Yeah.
kind of like he has his own personal little like lords.
Okay.
Um
Is he
yeah,
recruiting or?
no, they're just
Oh,
there to like do his dirty work.
oh.
So
I was hoping to join.
so there's three or I think there's crap, four of them. And like the main one, I think his name's Colton,
Okay.
he like got a stepsister and he was like
I'm gonna fuck her.
I think he was a senior in high school and she was like a sophomore in high school. And then like when they
What the?
like their parents got married and then like I think now he's again a senior and she's like a sophomore or something in college. Anyways, yeah, they do in fact get it on and they do in fact fall in love, but they're always saying like, oh, we just hate each other. And then like the book's kind of weird because they're like, no, we hate each other. And then it kind of ends and it's like, I hate them as much as I love them. And like I think they end up like getting married and having kids. I'm not gonna lie. Which like I I guess like you're not technically related, but like a little messed up. I don't know. He's also like he ruined every relationship she's ever been in. He posted a video of her like doing sexual things to him, but like he wasn't in like you can see his face, you can only see her like to the internet to like piss off one of the boyfriends she has. So you'd like break up with her.
Okay, that's
Um
sick.
right.
And like we okay, this is gonna sound so weird, but we're no stranger. Well, again, like talking about like Mia Kupola, like we're no stranger to this trope.
I'm no stranger. I'm a
But
big
this
fan of
one is
Cruel
like
Intentions.
right. Lucy showed me that movie for the first time. It was so good. I literally didn't see the ending coming. I was like, Lucy, no.
That was crazy. And I watched the show and he doesn't die in the show.
uh, kill him.
Because I think they want to do another season. It's there's a crazier plot twist at the end of the show.
Okay, I gotta get back into it. Like
It's the episodes are really long. It took me a while to
they
finish
are.
just because they're like literally each an hour.
Yeah, I have to
But
watch
the
it while I'm
last
here.
episode, fucking crazy. Anyways,
Okay.
yeah. So that one was like, and it was only like 250 the page account, which is crazy because all these books have been easily 600 to like 550 to 700 pages. This last
Yeah.
so then I read Carnage, which is about Saint, the main. I call him the main Spade brother. They're like technically there's four of them, but then one of them ran away, so there's three of them,
Oh,
and like they're all supposed to be like kind of equals, it seems, but like he kind of seems like the leader, dare I
yeah.
say? So
Yeah.
yeah, I read that book. That was like 550 pages, which that one was so long. It was so slow
Yeah.
because the way she wrote it, it was like him in college like his senior
Okay.
year getting what the fuck is her name? Ashton as his chosen, which like the chosens for the Spade brothers are a little bit different than the chosens for like um
Everybody else.
yeah, like it had like you have to be a virgin and like you have to also be a high ranking like she was like the daughter of another Spade brother, like the dad's like right? So she got like give. I was like, oh, and they're like, if you have a daughter, like she obviously goes to a Spade brother. And I was like, aren't we gonna like hit incest at some point? Like, there's only four of y'all. We haven't hit that yet, but like, there was only she was the only daughter of all of them. So like the other guys got like high ranking lords' daughters. Um,
Okay. Of course. Right. Right.
yeah, and so well, I guess technically you're not supposed to fall in love with your chosen. Like, it's not like guaranteed. So never mind. Dare I die? Okay, I digress. Um, so yeah, we like well, what's crazy is that book brought in, I kid you not, every single character we've met before, which is easily about 15 people.
Yeah. That's see. It's like, is this technically in the series or is this a spinoff?
No, this is like the next step in the series.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
So like we're like, and they're older. So like Saint and Ashton are probably like 3 or 4 years older than like the first book I read. But like right now we're in the same time frame, so it's like they're finishing up college, but like they've been out of college for like 4 years.
Okay.
Make sense? Um, yeah. So like Ashton and Saint like actually really like each other, but like they've never been able to like have each other because like of all the rules of like no touchy and
Boo.
oh, and so what's funny is her mom makes her go to this sex therapist, which is actually
It's that
what's
one girl's mom.
Ellie, I think her name's Ellie. Ellie's mom, which we don't really
Crazy.
connect the dots. I didn't connect the dots to like the very end. Anyway,
Yeah.
she's batshit crazy. She's a bad therapist. Are we surprised? Um, and was like basically like whatever. They keep telling her like Ashton that she's like a whore or whatever, and she's like, I'm literally a virgin because I have to be for this stupid ceremony. I can't be a whore. And her mom's like, well, you think about sex, and she's like, I don't. I'm gonna need
Go-
you to calm the fuck down. Anyways, so I'm gonna go in chronological order because you find this out at the end of the book, which is really stupid. But like, yeah, it's Ellie's mom and her mom, and her mom and Ellie's mom like pay off some guy to take her virginity
yeah.
prematurely. Some like random guy that they like dress up as Saint like in his like Lord's costume, and like they drug her, and so she like thinks it's him, and she's like it's fine, whatever. But like really, and then she also gets pregnant from that, which is like a big plot point. But
What the
like I said,
hell's going
remember
on?
in Tyson's one, he had to like kill some lord or whatever, and then he ended up not killing Ashton and like giving her back to the Spade brothers. So when that happens, she has to go into hiding because she's supposed to be dead. Like her whole family's supposed to be dead. Um, and so then she has to like live and stay at Carnage, which as we know is like a scary prison essentially.
Yeah.
Scary prison village. Like they do have houses like on there to like because the men stay there, but like she has to like stay with Saint now because
Scary prison village is sorry, that's crazy.
and I stand by my point. Um, she's like stay with Saint now, and he genuinely loves her, like wants to protect her, but like the dads still run the place. Like they're kind of forcing his hand. Like they make him
Yeah.
brand her they have like the 666 brand like specifically for Carnage. They make him brand her.
Oh
Um,
no.
and then he like tattoos like their vows on her, but like that was on purpose. She was like not mad about that one. But
Okay,
she's
good.
there about a month, and she's like one of the requirements is she has to see the therapist still, who's like really just an evil person who's like a pawn in the
Right.
dad's game. And she finds out she's pregnant from the time that like she didn't know because she still
Mm.
doesn't she still thinks it's Saint, but Saint knows it's not because like he got shown the video. um
Right. And he'd be like, I've never done that.
he like yeah he got shown the video before the ceremony and like rigged it to where like she still like bled when like they had the ceremony, and so no one would question it because if she didn't she would literally get like killed.
Oh
They
my
were like
god.
it's either this or death, and she was like
Ah.
um and so well it's not death, they like go throw her to some like she gets like thrown out and like onto the streets and like sold into like trafficking, which
Literally, what is this universe?
I don't know, and I'm kind of mad I'm still here, but I only have one book left, and I have to know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Anyway, so like she's there about a month, then she finds out she's pregnant, and she knows she can't be pregnant because like of everything that's happened. And then if they find out, they'll know that like Saint cheated, and he'll get like at the vow ceremony, and he'll get in a bunch of trouble. So one of the Spade brothers helps her escape. Um, well, helps her like get an abortion, and then helps her escape. And so she runs away, right? And that's like she shoots him. She shoots Saint, and then like she runs away. Um, and as I
I
remember
thought
in
she
like other,
liked him.
she did, but she just like she knew she had like she like didn't want to raise the child in that environment. But then I think like maybe she lost it, or I thought it sounded like she had an abortion, but maybe she lost
Yeah,
it.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
prison village doesn't sound like a great community to raise your kids. There's probably not like good schools or like
Yeah, and like even though Saint was trying like really hard to protect her, the fathers like again like they made him brand her, and then they were like
right, right.
torturing the other brothers for like liking her, and so she's like, I have to leave to like save myself, to save
Yeah.
y'all, to like I can't be here. This isn't a
Uh-huh.
life for me.
Right.
So she runs away, and you're like, Saint doesn't die, he recovers, but basically somehow in all of that chaos. And I don't know how this happened, but I have a feeling I'm gonna find out in this last book. All of the three fathers die all at the same time. Like someone went in and killed them.
Okay.
And so like right after she runs away, Saint's like recovering. He comes to like 2 weeks later, and this lady walks in and she's like, "You're my bitch now." And he's like, I'm no one's bitch. And she's like, "Think again." And basically like all the fathers had died. Someone killed them. We don't know yet. And they have to take over, but for some reason, and I have a feeling like this lady wasn't even supposed to be here, but
Mhm.
she like makes them go through their own initiation for carnage. So she basically tortures them for 6 months, like making them do all this like basically just like torturing them. Um, whatever. We don't really get a lot of that. We just get like, oh, we just she's like your initiation 6 months, whatever. Then we just right after she's like, you're my bitch now. Cut. Jump 3 years.
oh.
um, we find Ashton. She's a stripper. Interconnected universe because now we meet the Kings, who are a mafia that I'm pretty sure this author has written a complete other series about.
She has created a web unlike no other.
Marvel wishes they had this level of connectivity.
Right. Honestly, Marvel, hire this woman because she's got it down.
So she's working for the Kings in this like they run Vegas and like part of New York, and they run like sex strip clubs.
Oh,
And
I
so
love that.
she's working for them, and she's like, this is great, they're great employers, no notes.
No notes. Great. Love the HR. Like, just
Yeah,
fantastic.
like they're pretty chill actually, I'm not gonna lie. Like they're pretty.
Usually, the mafia romances that I read, yeah, they're kind of like, I mean, they're in the mob or the mafia, but like, they're usually pretty chill. They're just like, we just want to get shit done.
Yeah, they run a business, and you would
Right.
know what it takes
You
to
would
run a
know.
business. So we can't, sure, whatever they want to get into, none of my business.
Right.
So she gets a call, like her boss is like, you've been requested in the red room. They have like private rooms, or like you can have like
Of
parties or
course.
whatever, and like
Of course. Of
basically
course.
if you agree to go in that room, like you're like as a dance, you can like return it down, but if you agree to go in that room, like you you sit there and you let whatever happens.
Okay. New plan. Sorry. Cake bar. We need colored rooms, but they're all that like pink that makes you like hallucinate or whatever.
You're like, I would like a room, but like nothing fun happens in there. It's just awful.
Yeah, it's a terrible experience.
um so it's mask night at the club, the club.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
And I was like, of course it's fucking mask night. So she walks in, and there's these guys in jeans, combat boots, and black hoodies. Oh, who do we think it is? Oh, that's literally the uniform. They all fucking wear that. Be for real.
Be for real, you
Um,
don't know who that is?
so turns out Whitney, as we know from the last one, who's like trying to traffic her own sister, um,
Someone help Lucy. She's stuck in this universe.
so close to being out. And she apparently had like I know she'd married that other lord, but like she had been involved with the Kings, which is how she had like known that Ashton was there
Okay.
working at the club. But like she didn't feel like she needed to snitch on her until like she was literally trying to save her own life in Carnage. She's like, I'll tell you where she is. Sure. um so yeah. Yeah, they have like these devil masks on because, they've evolved over the last 4 years of being tortured, and she basically like lets him get it on. He ties her up, and she's like, "I." Um,
So stupid.
and yeah, also a weird, not weird, a strange plot point in these books is a few of them have like piercings, several piercings on sensitive places.
I'm familiar.
So, I don't know why one person confirmed why they did that. One person was like, "Oh, and like you are celibate for 3 years, like you get fucking restless," and so like that's why I think Tyson, no, Sin did it. But then, like when Saint and Ashton got together the first time when she was his chosen, like he, no tattoos, no piercings, one brand. Well, now all the brothers have, one of them specifically, not him, Cashton, the other one, has a nun tattoo, but the nun has a ball gag in her mouth.
That's funny as fuck.
And it's like such a plot point that it's brought up, like, I think twice in every book I've read so far.
He
because the
just want
only,
to let everybody know.
because he's like, the only person who knows the Spade brothers by name is Tyson. I think the others learn later on, but like
Okay.
Tyson and Ashton. So like literally for the first 3 books, they're only described as like by their tattoos. So then we
Oh,
get to Ashton, and it's like that
none
one,
ball gag. Like,
like literally.
that's so funny.
Um, and he's like really scary for some reason. He doesn't have a book, by the way. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, he's too scary. He's literally too scary.
They're like, there's no redeeming qualities about that man. Let
Also,
it go.
she's written everything she needs to say about that man. None ball gag tattoo. That's all you need to know. Like,
I don't even
obviously,
know
he's
how
like fucked
he
up.
picked that one though. Like, isn't that crazy?
Where's the lore? Did he draw it himself? Did he tell the tattoo artist that's what he wanted, and his tattoo artist was like, "I got you."
Yeah. Anyways, unsure when like they got all these tattoos and piercings. Definitely in the 4 years that like we didn't see them together, but like they
Yeah.
just cut to black on that one. Um, and I will say this book was so long because to get to like when she was his chosen to like this point when it like she comes back to Carnage is maybe 200 pages, but like I've never read 200 pages slower in my life.
Right.
And so anyways, yeah, he like um they get it on in the club, then she goes home and she's still living with her ex because like she let him live with her and she can't get him to leave. And then Saint and Cashton come back in their masks and they kidnap her because they're like, "You thought you ran away." Anyways, then they take her back to Carnage and she's like, "Who gave me away?" And then she meets Whitney and she's like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you in years. Like, what the fuck?" Because she thought someone of the Kings had given her away,
Mm,
which is not true. Anyways, so he makes her like be his little toy because she like left him and like they're mad at her, but like he still loves her. And what happens after this? Yeah, basically she kind of finds out the truth about like what the therapist and her mom actually did to her, and she gets kidnapped again. Oh, also Cashin's like kind of in love with this girl who's like one of the mafia princesses that like knows Ashton. So like that's a weird plot point. And then she thinks like Jasmine gave her
crossover.
away. And yeah, anyway, so they go to like New York to like one of the clubs because like it was opening or some like exhibition thing, and that's when they run into each other and she's like, "Girl, I thought you were," like Jasmine was like, "I thought you were dead." And she's like, "I'm fine."
I
Kind
think.
of. I gotta leave with them, unfortunately. See you later.
Yeah.
um
Oh, it's my bedtime.
so
Like,
yeah, she's like, "Who?" She's like, "Do you know them?" And she's like, "I guess I do."
yeah.
She very much knows them.
Hmm.
And yeah, then she gets kidnapped again by like these other people. It's actually like oh yeah, one of the people, she's like a regular at the club and he's actually the guy who like originally assaulted her. And
Hmm.
I don't know why though. Like that was kind of the weird plot point. He's like, why did he come back for her? But he like
Right.
kidnaps her and they have to hunt her down. Um, and then they think that like Hayden, the third brother, is like switched sides, and then they first they thought he killed him, then they think he like wakes up, then they think he switched sides. While Adam, her brother, who had disappeared, who was one of the Spade brothers but had disappeared like in
Mm-hmm.
college, shows back up with Hayden, and they're like, "Yeah, we were actually working on the inside to take this man down," and everyone's like, "Huh?"
Where's the series? Like, where's the TV series?
It would be a 24 long telenovela series. I'm like done. And so yeah, basically like they make it out all alive. It just like at this point it's like so repetitive. Like falls in love, she runs away, or she like tries to like leave, or like doesn't want to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
She actually for realsies gets kidnapped. Then they have to go rescue her. Then they get back and she's like, you know what? I've always loved you. All
This
right.
girl, get it together.
And yeah, when she like first comes back to Carnage, first comes back is brought back to Carnage. Um, he's like really mean to everyone's like kind of rude to her, but then like at the end he's like, no, I still love you, and like I just was like battling with like how I shouldn't love you because you shot me and ran away.
Yeah.
Uh, anyways, so the interesting part about this series is actually the epilogue. So every book has they have like a quick epilogue to like wrap everything up, and then they have an 18-year later epilogue when basically all of them are pregnant. So like all of their kids are 18 in high school, like they're seniors in high school pretty much, and they're
Mm-hmm.
about to go. Most of them are going to go to Barrington, the university where the lords are, and most of them are going to be lords or ladies or whatever. But something's weird happening. Like every book, you kind of learn, you get a quick visual of like the kids, and something weird's happening because one daughter was like, I went to get coffee with so and so, but she wasn't holding coffee, and so one of the dads calls and is like, did so and so get coffee with your daughter? And he's like, no, that's weird. My daughter hates coffee. Someone else is like, the brother comes down. They're like, have you seen your sister? And he's like, no. So like all of the girls are like disappearing, and like I don't like it's like something weird's happening, and I'm really
Yeah.
hoping in this last book it's like this weird because the last book is 750 pages.
Yeah, Lucy told me that, and I said that's actually longer than the last Harry Potter book, which is really scary.
But it's Hayden's story, and I think we're gonna get like I started reading it. I think we're opening with like his chosen thing, but it's like not going to be that long, and then we're going to get like why the dads of Carnage, or yeah, why the like original Spade brothers died and the sons Hayden, Stain, and Cashin had to like step up. What actually happened to Adam, um, and like what the fuck is actually going on? Like
Okay.
all this stuff that like didn't get filled in the last book will like be filled in here, and then we're also somehow like even though it's 700 pages, I have a feeling the last epilogue is going to be easily 100 pages
Right.
if not more, to like clear up whatever like this random. I feel like it's like we're gonna learn a bunch of stuff and like that's gonna fill in a bunch of the gaps in this book, and then we're gonna jump forward 18 years and someone had like some weird long plot on the families. So
Mm-hmm.
that'll be like 100 to 200 pages. I do want to finish it. I just like that is gonna take me so long. And I said last time I was like I don't want to go into the new year reading these books still. Unfortunately, this isn't getting done until next week.
Right.
And that's basically all I've been reading. That has taken up. Been trying. I've been trying to read Sky Shade. I just like can't get into it. I think I need to like finish this series and then like sit down when I have a couple days off and like just be like, this is what I'm reading this week.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm done. I'm upset.
Yeah.
And too much has happened. Anyways, as
Welcome.
as as we come to a close this year, um Rachel, what have been your top books of 2024?
Oh, I never thought you'd ask. Um, let me look. I'll look. Well, okay. This is something that I was thinking about yesterday because Lucy asked me, "Hey, are you free?" And I was like, "Yeah, I literally do nothing. I'm totally free." And she's like, "Do you want to film our 2024 Wrapped?" And I'm like, Absolutely. I never thought you'd ask. um, so I was thinking about this a little bit, and I have a vague. I was actually going to type out 24 books, like my top 24 for 2024. I got six. Not that I couldn't think of any. I
It's a
fell off
large.
the radar. Um,
Was a
but
little worried about you last night.
I was like, it was weird. I was doing great. I get home and I'm like, so I went to Barnes and Noble for the first time in a while because I didn't bring any books home with me because I was such in like a Hermione phase that I'm like, all I'm gonna want to read is Hermione. Still, all I want to read is Hermione. I have a spreadsheet. um, but I decided, like I'm in the like, so the Barnes and Noble here is like in like a little outdoor shopping center, and I already went to go return something to Amazon, and like where you return to Amazon is in the same parking lot, and I'm like, I'll just pop over. Um, and so I pick up like two new books, and then I get home from dinner last night. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, pick up one of the books and start reading. Passed out. I got maybe 12 pages in, and I don't even know what time, but I remember waking up at like almost 1 a.m. Like, what year is it? What time is it? Like, where am I? Like, I don't remember going to sleep.
It's okay.
So yeah, and then I thought I set my alarm when I woke up in that like 1 a.m. hour. No, it's just my mind playing tricks. But anyway, I woke up at 8:30 and Lucy's like, "Do you want to film at 9?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Wake up at 8:30. I'm ready at 8:59, bitch. Like crazy.
She was.
Anyway, not important.
How many books did you read this year?
105.
What?
I am counting Hermione because those are novels. Like
No. That's fair. That's fair. Wow.
like the last one that I read, the last like big one. They're all big. Like don't get me wrong, but Bring Him to His Knees was roughly 830 pages.
My God.
What? Anyway, so I am counting those because they're full length books. Anyway, so I read 105 books.
Um,
And I never thought I'd say this. I never, ever, ever thought I'd say this. Love theoretically might be my top book of the year.
I actually am not surprised by that.
I'm surprised by that because I'm the one who in May was like, I'm going to try to read contemporary romance. It's going to be bad. I'm going to hate it. I'm not going to want it. I have read Love theoretically twice this year. From the span of when I first read it in May to December.
Yeah.
Like it's like no, because I feel like people normally do rereads like after like a greater period of time of like I've kind of maybe forgotten a lot of what happens in the plot. Like I know vague ideas, but I want to go back into this world. I was like 3 months later, I need to read it again. Like I know you're not surprised, but I'm surprised because I never thought that like a silly contemporary romance would be like one of my number one books, you know?
Yeah.
There's a hair in my eyeball. Sorry.
Oh,
Anyway, um yeah, I have 6 on my stupid little list, but like predictable.
I have 5.
Oh,
I was trying to do like, yeah, I guess like top like 4 or 5. I read 80 books this year, which is a
that's
big
a
step
lot.
up from none.
Yeah.
No, so I was a really avid reader growing up, and this was like at the end of 2023, I was like getting back into reading, and then this year was like we really started reading a bunch.
Yeah.
And I originally set my goal at 50, but when I reached that at about like 5 or 6 months, I was like, but I was like, I didn't think I could reach 100, and I was right. So I upped it to
Mhm.
75. But I did get to 80.
I set my
Which
goal at 75.
yeah. So I think I set my next year's goal to 90 because I was like, I was
Mm.
looking at the breakdown of, I really like Fable because this is my favorite feature is the little like,
I was literally just looking at that.
yeah, because you can see, and it's like, I was really consistent. It's funny. Yeah, you can see it's like the first January, I read 10 books. February we went on
Yeah.
trips, so I only read 5. March I read like 9 books, and then April we went on a trip again, so I only read like 5 or 6 books.
Mhm.
May, I didn't do anything, so I read 10 books again.
Yeah.
um and then like June, I was traveling to like visit family and stuff. So I only read 5 books. July, I don't know how I read like 8 books that month because we were literally in North Carolina for 2 weeks, but we were on the beach, so I was like reading a
So you were
ton of
like
books at the
reading.
beach.
Yeah.
But then like August, September, October, I was moving or traveling in all those months. So I read less than 5 books. And then in November and December, I read about 6 to 8 books the last 2 months,
Yeah.
each month. Um, so I feel like if I can just be more consistent and read like the 6 to 8 books every month, even if I'm like traveling or doing something and like being more consistent in that, I could reach 90. But I didn't want to set it at 100 because that felt like really out of reach. But like 10 more books than I read this year feels like on par.
Yeah.
Because like some of those
I
months I just had like shit come up and I couldn't do anything.
yeah. My favorite thing about my little thing is August. There's literally two books. I read two books. That's unheard of.
Yeah,
Two.
that's insane. I think my
Yeah.
lowest is like 4.
No, I read two, but then every other month is like January. There was a lot for some fucking reason. Wasn't doing anything, I guess.
We were not doing anything in January.
But like the range is like every other month is like 8 to 10 books. But
hmm
it also like I do have to read for like school, so I was counting the books that I was reading.
No, and you read them. That's fair.
Yeah. So
Um,
like
my longest
uh,
reading streak was 30 days. It's the one I'm currently in.
my longest reading streak was 25 days because for Christmas I like didn't read on Christmas Day and I
Mm.
didn't read the day after. Don't know what I was doing, but
The reading streak kind of pisses me off because it's like I'll read for like a week or two and then I'll take like one day off and then like I'll read for a week or two.
yeah, and then they're like,
Um,
"Fuck you."
yeah. It's like I'm looking at these and it's like most months are full minus like 1 or 2 days. It's just like
Yeah.
well, it only goes back to July, but um stuff comes up. But like I'm really competitive, so like I want to hit that reading streak. Like last night I was so tired and I was like, I just need to read 10 pages,
Right, exactly. I just need to
which
read
I
like
think is a
one
little
more page.
toxic.
It's
Fable's
okay.
toxic.
At least it's like a health. Well, it's at least you're like I don't know. Like I could be doing drugs.
Yeah, I could be doing drugs. I could be one more hit. Like that could be
Yeah,
my
exactly.
vice. And
Like
instead
one
it's
more
10 more
line.
pages.
One more line. You know.
Yeah. My most read genre was romance,
Me too.
63 books.
I have 88.
Wow. And then fantasy 35, YA 30, thriller 16, mystery 12.
Okay, mine is pretty much the same. I have romance 88, fantasy 48, young adult 44, mystery 16, sports 13. What was I reading? What is sport? One thing that I don't like about Fable is I want to be able to click on the little colors in the thing and be
And
able to
it tell
see
me.
what books you counted as sports.
Yeah, I don't know.
What
Um,
would be sport?
I feel like I probably read more sports like hockey romance books than you
Right,
did.
I'm sick. I'm like, where's the sport?
I don't really like this little like pie chart thing
Right?
because it,
Sports.
like I feel like having YA and then like romance, I feel like they don't have a romantasy. YA books
Yeah.
are still romance or fantasy or like they fit into a category. I know why they're categorized as YA, but
Yeah.
I just the category thing is not my fave.
Yeah, it's not my
Um,
fave either.
and then I did my little wrapped thing this morning. I've been putting it off.
Oh, I did that. I
But
have
my
pictures.
reader summary for the year: dark debauchery. Your steamy fantasies suggest you've taken a wrong turn into a brooding romance cul-de-sac, yet you revel in daring depths.
Huh?
So true, especially at the end of this year. Yeah, it was so funny. I was looking at it was like spring, summer, like fall, winter.
Yeah.
It was like you started off in fantasy and then you spent all summer reading romance and then you spent these last 2 months reading weird, dark, like romance fantasy. Like, are you okay? You're like,
Yeah.
no, leave me
I
alone.
I did mine when I was only at 102 books, but my reader summary of the year I feel like is pretty accurate. It's passionate masochist, which okay. Your love for dark romances makes a black cat look sunny, yet you explore forbidden desires with fearless curiosity. I'm just curious. I just want to learn.
Um, yeah. Oh yeah,
I'm
summer,
just scared I'm going to
summer
finish another
mixed
book.
mystery and vampires, purely thrilling chills.
Ew, that was
And then it was like
sick.
the spring was like magic romance. Okay.
Mm.
So funny. Anyways,
I'm in the
what
top
were you,
5% of fantasy readers, it says. Eh,
I was in the top 5 of YA readers. Good to know
interesting.
I'm keeping up with the teens. And then I was in the top
Yeah.
10% for like romance and fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
I think. It's not too shabby considering how avid some of the reader community is.
Yeah.
Anyways, what is your personal top 6, Rach?
Okay. What I have written down is so I've loved theoretically
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nightbane, the
Yeah.
second book in the Lightlark trilogy. Heartless Hunter,
Yeah, Slay.
um, Phantasma. Ate
Mm.
that one up.
That's the one where it's like the haunted house in
Yeah.
New Orleans and she's like
Yes.
competing.
Yes. And the sexy blonde man who's the Phantom.
Yeah.
um, I literally like I have a problem because I read a lot of things and I'm like, this would be such a good Hermione plot. Get a life. Stand up, look at yourself in the mirror, and get a life. Like Jesus Christ. I also put Kiss the Sky on there, which is part of the Addicted series, and it's Rose and Connor. And they ate it up. I was like kind of hesitant to get back into the series. And when I started that book, I was like, I'm really confused. I don't know what's going on. Why are they on a reality show? Apparently, it's actually really like, I would love this reality show. Like, it just would eat. Anyway, they're doing this reality show, but it's about. So Rose and Connor meet and they're academic rivals. Like we don't establish them meeting in this book because you're already supposed to know that from the other two books, even though the other two books aren't about them. Or the other three books. I didn't read the third book. I apologize. I was just like, I know. Because everyone that I hear who talks about this series like loves Rose and Connor. And I love an academic rivals situation. But they're like in love. Like they're in love, but they like don't say it because like he can't feel love. Like because he's never felt love before from like a
Uh-huh.
parental figure. Very Draco. I don't know. Um, but they've been dating for like a year and a half. Um, and she's like described as this like virgin ice queen. And she's 23 and she's never done anything, which slay, that's fine. Um, and he's very arrogant. I'm smarter than everyone else. Everyone else is beneath me, like CEO, businessman kind of thing. But he's like again 23.
Yeah.
So it's just basically their relationship of like being on this like really toxic reality show about their family. Um I don't know.
Oh,
It was just
is this Vanderpump Rules?
yeah. Kind of.
Kind of. Kardashians. This is interesting.
Yeah. I don't know, it just really like wrecked me. I just felt very like I really liked their character arc. Like it was just so I think I just love like a man who like doesn't know how to love, but like is so down bad for this one bitch. So
Yeah.
ride or die. Like I just love that trope. So I really liked that one. I also put Vicious on here because I did really like that book
Mm.
and I do really think about it. It's something that I definitely want to reread in the new year. Um, and it's good.
She's
But
coming to do an author talk here in Dallas.
oh, slay. She writes a really good blonde man.
I'll
Anyway,
go and tell her that.
you really should. And yeah, I would put this Hermione fic that I recently just read, the one where he kidnaps her,
Yeah.
probably on this list, just because I really like. I was plowing through it. Um, but yeah, what have you put on?
Yeah. So I was looking back at my little chart this morning trying to figure it out cuz I didn't think about this yesterday. Anyways,
Yeah,
um and I read a lot of stuff I didn't like.
that's
Looking
fair.
back, I well the funny thing is like I rated stuff pretty at like a 4 cuz there's stuff I enjoyed when I read it, but like looking back like I read a lot of those cowboy romances and like not to say they're a waste of my time. They're not, but I could have been reading something better.
Yeah.
Um I was looking back and I was like, I don't know if I'd put a lot of these books on any list that I liked, but here's what I came up with. The Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves duology.
Lucy
And
loves that one.
I
So,
really do. And
every time I bring it up, I sound like I'm making fun of you for liking it, but like I
it
just
was
like
so
it lives in
good.
my brain of we both like we buy Vow of Thieves, which is the second one. And I'm sitting outside reading it and Lucy's like, "I'm actually done. I actually just
Yeah.
finished the book." And I'm like, "It's actually been 24 hours."
I think I read that one on my Kindle, so it was really
Yeah.
easy to get through. But there was just something like, especially the first one, I felt, and I was really thinking about it this morning, and it's a, and I know someone's gonna be up and be like, every fantasy book's just a copy of another. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. This was probably the most original plot I've read.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds kind of weird, but like the magic system and like just kind of like the characters, like maybe not the characters, but like the plot was very original to me
Mm-hmm.
in the sense of like I don't really think I've seen anything quite similar to this, whereas like some other things, Powerless, are like very much an amalgamation of all the fantasies. So I liked that the plot was really kind of original. I liked the characters a lot. I felt they were well developed on both
Yeah.
sides. Um, I felt like we didn't have like we I love when an author kind of explains that like this is why someone's mad or this is why someone's doing XYZ and like he
Yeah.
has a really big family and like they all had their reasons for like disliking her or liking her or whatever and that was like
Mm-hmm.
not really brushed over. Not it was like you're just supposed to obviously know that they hate her because she like abandoned them once. Like they were like very honest about it.
Yeah.
Um I will say the first one was probably more my favorite than the second one, but I felt like it was a good continuation because I did read it a couple, like I think a month or two apart. So like, and it was still, I wasn't struggling. Like I feel like some of the books I've been reading recently, I'm like
Mm.
struggling on like the second or third book to like figure out what's going on because I have read the other one so long ago, and
Yeah.
that just wasn't the case. So I just thought it was an overall like really well written book that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up. That's probably the most in-depth one I have on here.
No,
Next, I have
yeah.
Heartless Hunter, which again, like that
Yeah.
was just a good story. This is basically Rachel told me to read this list and I liked it.
Heartless Hunter was just like again, I to me it was like this is a very witches are not an original concept,
No.
but the way they portrayed por, the way they wrote the witches were like very unique to me and
Hmm.
didn't feel like because I've talked about this ad nauseum with Lucy. I hate a witch book. I hate a witch book. But this just did it for me. Like I think it's because it was set in like a more like historic
Yeah.
time. It just I don't know, it was just good. It kept me invested from like literally moment 1 and I'm so excited for February when the
Me
second book
too.
comes out.
Um, yeah, I just thought like the plot was really good. In
Yeah.
pacing, something to be say for a lot of the books that I liked, the pacing was really good.
Yes.
And I think that's something that gets like thrown to the wind a lot with some writers, especially some like self-published writers, because they're like, I have to get these characters right and I have to get this plot right so that people enjoy it. But then like you then everyone's like, I read 30 pages and nothing happened, and then I read 200
Yeah.
pages and I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Um, so I really, yeah, Heartless Hunter was great. My third one, Bride.
Lucy really loved that.
I really liked that one. I don't know why. Um, I feel like that one just fed into my like teen wolf, like Vampire Diaries, like
Yeah.
loving, like little like teenage brain. And but it was like I don't know, I just enjoyed it. I like the story. Again, like I think the pacing and like the plot was really nice.
Yeah.
Um and one of the things is I look back and I read a lot of romances and it's like I enjoyed the romances, but none of the romances made this list because like they're just not like substantial
They're not
material, if that makes
memorable.
sense. Like,
Ah, they're
no.
memorable, but like it's not something that you would like really sit and think about.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Like
love
I
theoretically, I know that's a romance, but that's something that I genuinely sit and think about like
yeah.
very frequently.
Yeah, like that and Not in Love. Like they're great books and I think about them, but yeah, I also read like some Carly Fortune and
Yeah.
can't see what that other one is, but like anyways, like this summer will be different and like stuff like that and they were good and I liked them, but it's just like
Hmm.
copy paste Hallmark movie. But
Right.
I was looking back and I was like, I filled so much of my time with these stupid romances, but like I read some really good fantasy or just like good YA pieces that were more thought out. Okay. Assistant to the villain, not apprentice to the villain is number 4. Like not
Oh, yeah. I need to put that on my list because I did really love Assistant to the Villain, like a lot.
I feel like that married everything I love about a book. Like it had a little bit of fantasy. It's very Ella Enchanted, like that movie.
Yeah, I described it. This is horrible and not a demeaning quality at all, but I described it as very Shrek.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Shrek is like obviously it takes place in like a fantasy world. There's like the kingdom and all the magical creatures. Like it was just very like silly and goofy. It was like if Shrek was filmed like The Office.
Yeah. Um, so I love that because and then it had kind of like that romance, like that easy romance plot that's like
Yes.
he's not supposed to like everybody, like and it had
Yeah.
that plot, and then it had like a little bit of mystery and like action in it.
Hmm.
So it just yeah, good classic book. The second one, I feel like we kind of lost the plot and we got a little too into their relationship. I hate to say it. Like I know the whole thing's about the relationship. I do like their relationship, but like it it kind of veered and like it got a little too intense and then like we're introducing too many new characters and too many quests to like try and figure this out, but like not
Yeah.
actually answering or finishing any of them. And something I really hated this year was like reading, especially a second book, because this happened with Reckless.
Yeah.
No questions were answered, just
Nothing.
more questions asked. Not a
Yeah.
fan. At least Nightband answered all my questions while it asked them. Anyways. And then, okay, I guess this is number 5, but with a grain of salt, Powerless. I really, really liked Powerless when I read
Oh
it.
yeah. It ate because it
Oh, no, please. Um, it did have all the tropes, but then like maybe I was letting someone get my ear a little bit, but like I do
right.
agree, like maybe
Right.
she wasn't too original, but like I don't think there's anything wrong with like compiling everything you like about certain books and tropes and then like kind of making your own. Um, and I will say like
There's also like
I guess I was a
something
little shocked when she
about
like killed, like
reading
not like
like the
shocked she
first
killed her
book in the
father, but I was
series
like,
because
I
you're
can't
getting
believe like she
introduced to like
committed to that.
all
And like
these new
we like really
characters
committed
and
to
like
that.
maybe a new magic
Um,
system and like a new town. Like it's
and
just
all
there's
that
something
jazz. But then
very
I did
cozy
like
about it.
Reckless. I thought Reckless was
And then when you
fine,
go into the second book and you're like,
but
I
it just
really
felt
love
like
these characters. I
filler
missed these
to get to
characters.
the
But
third
then the
book. And
characters
it's like
like
that
are
almost could
kind of
have been a
stagnant.
novella
You're
with
like,
how little
I thought we were
substance there
supposed to
was
change
in
and
it.
grow. I am really excited
So I
to
was a
see
little
how this
upset
like
by that. And
engagement
then also
goes
I
to
think one
Kit
of the
because like
things
I'm
is
not a Kit hater.
Lauren Roberts wrote that one. She said she wrote the first one.
Honestly,
She was
I
like
bitch,
18 and then like cleaned it up
I'm
and
going to
published it. And then
Paris
like this
if
one
you know
she
what I
wrote
mean.
now when she's
Like,
like 24,
you know,
25 or
like
something like that.
if I was
She's
Peyton,
just
I'd
very,
be
it's
like,
just different
eh.
because she's a different person
Anyways,
now.
not the point. Bofa.
Which is like, I'm glad she's grown as an author, but at the same time, like, there was just something so good about that, like, nuanced, like, just craziness of Powerless.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, for sure, yeah. Lucy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever been on a list for me. Oops.
Yeah. And how about Bofa? Um,
I
but
too. Oh,
yeah, no,
I
I
only got to
agree. And
Stolen
I,
Air because I was
like I
like,
said, I think
I
that's
actually cannot do
another reason I
this.
really
Like this
enjoy
is
like
that
not so much
that book
Powerless
probably goes
Protagonist is
on
because
if we were gonna do
I
like a
like figuring
least
out what's going
faves,
on, and I
that
wrote that
might
whole like here's
Stolen
everything I
Air
think this book was
definitely
setting
is on
up for
that
the next
list.
book. And so I think there's just that level of like I was thinking about it. I was sitting there thinking about it.
Oh, Shatter Me? Lucy hated that.
But yeah.